Yo, what is going on, you rude rockruff? Before we get into the list that we're going to be playing some games with today, I want to give a big shout out to PokemonCard.io. I upload all the deck lists that I play with on the YouTube channel over there, so you guys can easily and quickly import them into PTCGO so you can play with them yourselves. And I'm not the only person who does that, so there's a lot of lists over there. So go ahead, check them out, PokemonCard.io. Link in the description. Go check them out. All right, let's get into the list that I am going to be playing some games with today, and that is Jolteon VMAX. So let's take a look at that first. The one thing I do want to mention, Jolteon V, not that big of a deal. It has the Thunder Spear that we sometimes use to do 20 damage to one of our opponent's Pokemon, but it has free retreat cost, and that'll come up later. The Jolteon VMAX, 300 HP. We are weak to fighting, so Urshifu is a bad matchup, but besides Urshifu, we can play pretty well against most other things. The other matchup that can be tough is the Shadow Rider deck, but we do play 4 Paths of the Peak. So if we get one of these to stick against Shadow Rider for a couple turns, that's usually where we can try and get ahead. So the Shadow Rider matchup really just does come down to, does Path of the Peak stick? And if it doesn't, we lost. So Jolteon got that max Thunder Rumble attack, 100 damage for Lightning and a Colress, and then it does 100 damage to one of our opponent's bench Pokemon that has any damage counters on it. So we play 2 Zigzagoons in here. Usually you only see 1 Zigzagoon in decks with Skip Up Nets, but we can't afford to prize it because the second part of our attack is so focused around having damage in play besides on the active Pokemon. So we play 2 Zigzagoon. We got Scoop Up Nets in here to reuse them. And then for our draw support, our engine in the deck, and also our initial setup, we got the 4-Force Encino for continuous draw support. And then we have the Snorlax with the Gormandizing. And we play 2 of them because how important this card is and how easy it is for us to get into it on turn 1. I didn't want to prize it ever. And I've used it pretty much every single game on our first turn. So do not want to prize this thing. So the Jolteon's got free retreat, so it's super easy to get into the Snorlax there. And then everything else has 1 retreat cost, or we could Scoop Up Net it. We play 3 Capture Energy and 4 Quick Ball. So it's pretty easy to find a Snorlax turn 1 and on top of the 4 Snorlax. So it's pretty easy to find a Snorlax turn 1. It's not that hard to find a Snorlax turn 1. But getting into the active really helps. The Jolteon having free retreat really is helpful with that. And then everything else can move there pretty fast. And we play 2 of them. Like I said, we don't want to prize it. If we only played 1 and prize it, it'd be terrible. So the reason we play this Encino engine here and want to continuously draw cards, be able to not play a draw supporter every turn, because we play Cheryl in here, and Cheryl can heal all the damage from our evolution Pokemon. So if we have a capture and a lightning energy on this, and we have some damage on the Jolteon VMAX that we want to heal, we can Cheryl, heal all the damage, and then we play Elemental Badge, which reduces the cost of attacks for Vaporeons, Jolteons, and Flareons. We play Jolteon, so that's the one we're utilizing through this. Costs 1 less, so that means Jolteon's attack only costs 1 lightning energy. So we can Cheryl it, heal it. If we have an Elemental Badge on it, we can attach a lightning for turn, and then we're attacking with the max Thunder Rumble again, and then our opponent hits us, and then we Cheryl, and then we can Pal Pad the Cheryls. I don't know if I like the Pal Pad in here. I've just kind of had it in here. It could be better as just a third Cheryl, maybe. I don't really need to ever recover Marnies or Bird Keepers, which are our only other draw supporters in this deck. I don't play Research at all in here, although I could definitely see it being an inclusion, especially if you put an Ordinary Rod in here as well to help recover some of the Pokemon we might discard, but never really tried out the Research in here. Just the Bird Keeper and the Marnie, alongside, of course, the Cheryls to help us heal. But yeah, the deck has been super sick so far. Like I said, obviously we lose to Urshifu or anything that can easily one-hit KO us. We lose to, like I said, the Shadow Rider matchup. They can one-hit KO us, but we kind of make them work for it a little bit because we do play these 4 Paths of the Peak. So they got to get around that first to get enough energy in play to get the one-hit KO. And that matchup really does feel like it comes down to how often they can bump the Paths of the Peak. And yeah, pretty much how often they can bump the Paths of the Peak. That's pretty much what it all comes down to. And if it gets stuck in play for a couple turns, like that's what we're looking for. But that matchup has felt pretty 50-50, and it just comes down to the Paths of the Peak. So let's go ahead. Let's play some games with the Jolteon VMAX. We are going to be playing on the pre-rotation ladder, so we'll be at a little bit of a disadvantage because this is a post-rotation deck. So if you guys are looking for something cool to play in post-rotation, this is the deck for sure, because Jolteon VMAX is crazy cool when it sets up. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. All right, here we go. We're getting into it. This would have been a crazy good hand if we had a basic to go with it. As long as we didn't lose the Marnie, I guess. But like we could have given up a level ball, a quick ball, the VMAX, the energy. Could have been a really ridiculously good hand, but not this time. Hopefully the next hand is just as good. We'll see. Badge, Zigzagoon. Okay, we got the Snorlax to start with, but the rest of the hand is lacking a little bit. Leaves a little bit to be desired. Some more basic Pokemon. We want some Encinos. Some Jolteons, lacking both of those. Got plenty of them in the deck, I'm sure, and plenty of ways to find them. So there's that working for us. Slow start from my opponent here. No V's down. Makes me not want to Marnie, but then I wouldn't really do very much for my turn. So I'm going to go and throw out the Path of the Peak. Not going to play the Zigzagoon. I'm just going to go ahead and Marnie it back to the deck, and then hopefully find a Jolteon here. We'll see. Found the Jolteon. Not much else to work with, though. I might throw the Goon down because I want that extra draw off the Gourmandize. So I think we are going to go Jolteon. Goon Ping. Who knows if the Alchemy will stay in the active very long. Anyways, I'm going to hold on to both Evolution Incense. Maybe could have played one to draw an extra card. Oof. And this hand, not very good. I'm not going to lie. Got both Cheryls, but we want them in the mid game. We don't want them in the early game. We want to start finding them in the mid game. And towards the end of the game, if we've used enough of them that we're far enough ahead in the prize exchange, we don't really need them later on. But yeah, not looking great. Definitely going to be another Gourmandize next turn. Level Ball to help find one of the Mincinos will be great as well. But yeah, definitely not looking ridiculously good. Our opponent only found a Marshadow so far. Aggressively finding the Marshadow there. And there's their first V. They finally get a Calyrex V going. So that's good for them, I guess. I don't want them to have it, really, but not that big of a deal. And we are playing up against a pre-rotation deck. Of course, like I mentioned, they got the Marshadow in here. So that's going to be one of those tools. It's going to be really good for my opponent. And also the Dedenne here, saving them because they had energy with 4 energy. That was the rest of their hand, was just 4 energy. So Dedenne helping them out quite a bit here. I guess Crobat would have been okay, but not great, obviously. Yeah, helping them out quite a bit. Pretty heavy on the path to the peak. Well, maybe they only play 2. A lot of lists play 2. They might not play any more than 2. But Marshadow, they probably play a second Marshadow, and they might even play Ordinary Rot to recover Marshadows as well. So a lot of energy bumping potential still in their list. Got out the triple V now they're cooking. Didn't use Sugar Sprinkles, but it's only bench Pokemon. Okay, I was like, well, I don't know why they didn't. Why wouldn't they use that there? All right, so we're gonna get the Mincino. I think I'm gonna clear out this hand a little bit more. I'm gonna play both these Evolution Incenses. So now that we have a Cincino in the hand, not a great top deck that we were really hoping for. Birdkeeper, I didn't really want to play a Marnie there with them only having 2 cards in the hand. Path to the Peak would have been nice. More basic Pokemon would have been optimal. And there's a Capture, so that can get us cooking a little bit more on that front. But we don't really want Capture energy anymore, to be honest. Our first 2 turns is when we want the Capture energy. And past that, we do usually Gourmandize once or twice. But past that, the Capture energy aren't that great because this covers the colorless part of the attack. So then we need a Lightning energy now to attack. So we don't have that. So that's just not good. We put a Capture down, we're not attacking this turn. We'd like to attack this turn, unless I used Energy Assist, I guess, which I could go with an Energy Assist next turn. That wouldn't be the end of the world. Wouldn't be the worst thing ever. So we could go with that. We'll wait and see what our opponent does, though. And once again, kind of decide from there. Path to Peak would have been nice as well. We want to keep those kind of flowing and moving and like turn after turn after turn, like Path to the Peak, Path to the Peak, Path to the Peak, Path to the Peak, continuously to kind of, make my opponent have an answer every single turn. If they want to, bump that and actually do something about that. So another V here from my opponent. So I'm assuming that last card in their hand is a Research. I guess we'll find out. Doesn't make sense for it to be Marta, but just Sugary Sprinkle. So my opponent's hand is dead. Wow. All right. Well, that's really good for us. I'm going to go ahead and make do this Snorlax, and hopefully we can start swinging, or at least get a Path to the Peak. I'd feel way safer with the Path to the Peak and play with the Path to the Peak. Let's go ahead and get ourselves another Mincino. And then Gourmandize for 1. And then we'll get another Cincino out next turn with the Evolution Incense. And then we're still a Lightning Energy away. We're still missing a Lightning Energy. But the rest of the hand, pretty good for the mid-game. I'm sure we'll probably get Marnie at some point, which means all these good cards will be on the bottom of the deck, which won't be as good. But hopefully we can thin out quite a few cards here to kind of get through everything. Put ourselves in a better spot. Here, it looks like they're going to get the Shadow Mist cooking. We do play Basic Energy, so this isn't the end of the world. We play less Basic Energy than we do, just other energy. We play more Speed Lightnings and stuff. We have 4 Speed Lightning, only 1 basic in the deck as well, so we could be digging here for a little while. Now I'm going to feel pretty safe if we can at least find a Path to the Peak, because that really limits my opponent's top deck outs. There's that path I was talking about. Oh, but I can't play Stadiums because they used Shadow Mist. Okay, so I can't use that. Maybe we'll get the Lightning Energy then instead. That'd be cool. No Lightning Energy. Okay, so I guess pass over to my opponent once again. We got the Paths to the Peak. We just can't put them in play. Here comes the VMAX from my opponent. Will they use it to take a knockout here? It looks like no, just another Shadow Mist. So once again, on the hunt for that basic energy. There's a Marnie, but I don't want to play that because I know my opponent's hand is dead. So we're going to get rid of that. Still no basic energy. Make do another Marnie again. It might Palpad some of those back in later to disrupt my opponent potentially. And I'm going to go ahead and pass once again over to my opponent. I guess I could have Scoop Up netted the Snorlax and actually gone in with like a Thunder Spear here to start setting up some more damage. Just hit the Alchemy VMAX maybe for some damage, or even the active would have been fine. All right, can we get the basic energy this turn? Evolution Incense, I can play this to burn it out of the deck. Grab myself the Jolteon VMAX. Make do the Quick Ball. I also have to make sure the one Jolteon I'm able to set up just doesn't get KO'd. That could also be something that could happen. Give it another Quick Ball here. anymore. Got the level. So I could go net. So we could do it like this, I think. So I'm going to go net this, send up this, level ball, grab Encino. But I guess if they do take a big knockout, then I'll be able to attach lightning energy on the following turn. So that's not a fear I should actually have. An irrational fear, I guess. All right, Thunder Spear. Just going to go ahead and hit this. Get some damage set up on it. So if they do run it away, there's already some damage set up on it. And now that it has 20, if it becomes a VMAX, I only need to hit it 3 times to take it out. But yeah, still slow going here on both sides. My opponent's still looking for that top deck. I mean, there's a lot of things. A draw supporter, a VMAX. I would be fine if they put another Pokemon on the bench, because that means they can't put... oops, what am I doing? That means they can't put a Marshadow down. They won't have space for Marshadow, which would be pretty good for me, to be honest. Make do one of these VMAXs. Probably won't need that. Might want to keep this V around. Got another Capture Energy, which I'm pretty sure I'm comfortable make doing as well. Get rid of that. Want to keep the Elemental Badges, stuff like that. Let's see. So it's no basic energy yet. It's still in there. We know it's in there. We saw it. Oh, Thunder Spear. So this is 3 hits away. This is 3 hits away if it becomes a VMAX. I guess if one of these VMAXs, I could go ahead and Thunder Spear that. Just get that set up to be ready to be Thunder Speared, I guess. And next turn, we're guaranteed to draw into the basic energy. Hopefully, I don't deck out trying to do it, because that doesn't sound very good. I don't want to deck out trying to do it. Here comes a Fog Crystal. What are they going to grab here? They didn't use it last turn, just an energy. I guess that makes sense. But this still means their hand should still be dead. This shouldn't mean they have a live hand all of a sudden in their hand. Yeah, still dead. Shadow Mist once again. Okay, basic energy is guaranteed here, but I don't want to get rid of the Encino. I don't think I'm setting up another Encino this game. If they focus my Encinos, I'd also be fine with that. Okay, make do again. And I can Pal Pad, I guess, to Marty. But hopefully we draw it this turn. Okay, perfect. We do play basic energy. We did find it. All right, we're in it now. Retreat. And gonna go ahead and max Thunder Rumble and hit the Alchemy VMAX. And now we are finally... I mean, we were playing the game before, but now it finally feels like we're playing the game. Yeah, the Shadow Mist has really put us on hold here for quite a while. Finally, we attack. And the thing about here is, like, sure, we haven't been doing that. We would have been doing something because we had all these speed lightning energy, but my opponent has been, you know, doing their thing. Here comes that G-Max Whisk. Now, the question is, do I even want to attack with a VMAX here? I don't have to. I could attack with this V with the Pin Missile and set this thing up to be knocked out. They have no energy in play. I can finally put a Pad to the Peak in play. I can use the Pal Pad to recover some Marnies. So I'm kind of feeling like I'm just going to go with a Pin Missile here. Yeah, I think I'm just going to go with a Pin Missile here. We'll see. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling the Pin Missile. So I'm going to go attach. Attach this. Bench this. Pad to the Peak. Pal Pad, double Marnie. So we have 2 cards in deck. I could Marnie my opponent right now, but they could still have a dead hand, so we're just gonna go with the Pin Missile. I maybe should have attached this Elemental Badge onto the bench. Can I get 1 heads? Okay, I'll take 1 heads. Just any amount of damage seems decent. And actually, we have a lot of Goon Pings. We have 3 Goon Pings left. We won't be quite enough on the Goon Pings, actually. Well, actually, we have 1 net prize. If we get the last net, we actually KO this through Goon Pings. I don't think that's gonna happen, though. Yeah, I probably should put the Elemental Badge down here. They usually don't play Tool Scrapper in this deck, and I don't know why my opponent would all of a sudden be playing it if no one really plays it. Like, I don't know what would incentivize them to want to play it. I mean, the list doesn't look that much different than any list I played against before, so be inclined to think that they don't or wouldn't really play it. Tool Scrapper. No reason for me to think that they would anyways. I mean, I guess they could. Nothing's stopping them, but they're down a lot of resources. I mean, they're down a lot of energy. Like Path to Peaks doesn't matter. One of the Marshadows. So they're down a lot. Here comes a Trevor. Now they're bench locked. Now this is huge. They just bench locked themselves, which means they can't get Marshadow into play anymore. So that puts us in an extremely good spot potentially. Now I can just go into like a VMAX and start hitting these 2, or start hitting this one actually. Start hitting the Trevnor. And we do have this Marnie. I don't want to play it yet, but I'm pretty comfortable with just going into VMAX here, I think, and swinging at this point and just start hitting the Trevnor. We do need a net ping it, so let's go scoop up net. Ping that thing. And then... I mean, if I VMAX the bench one, the only problem with VMAXing the bench one is then I have to put an energy there as well as I'll put the Elemental Badge here now, but I don't actually want to... I don't actually want to do that. So one thing I don't play in this list that I've been considering adding that I haven't added in yet is a boss's orders. I actually don't play a boss's order. So when my opponents run around like this, it can make things a little bit awkward. So it's definitely something I'm considering including. And to be honest, I probably should play one boss's orders. Because there's so many situations where I come up, like this situation right here. If I hit this one more time, I'm going to want to be able to go boss KO, KO. But now I can't do it because I don't play boss's orders. So there's a lot of, there's high consideration to include boss's orders. I haven't put it in yet just because I haven't felt like it would make that big of a difference. But we can even see, I've had a couple situations that were like, I could have won sooner for sure. And the way this game is developing right here, I think I definitely would like a boss's orders. I'm still feeling like I'm in a pretty good spot because I don't think they're going to be able to handle my path to the peaks anymore. Maybe one, but I don't think two. And they're really low on energy now too. It's like 6, 7, 9 energy gone. They have one in play, so I'm not even really scared of Alchemy getting a one-hit KO. That could still happen, I guess, but I'm not too scared of that. Here comes the Pale Moon, so I guess I will have to retreat this turn. But we're gonna start with some make do's. Rid of a Marnie. If we just get the net, we can just go retreat plus net. So that's what we're looking for here. Make do. And there's the concede. No surprise. I mean, my opponent slow start. Shadow Mist slows us down. We priced one of our basic lighting, so it's hard to draw into the other one. But at the end of the day, Path to the Peak, they filled their bench, and we definitely been able to get the scoop up net there. I didn't want to Marnie them because they only had a 2-card hand, so I was going to try and make do first. And if I whiffed, then I went Marnie and get it, retreat, scoop up net, and then start swinging again. And it would have been like a wrap in like 2 turns from there because we hit the Trevnor, KO the Alchemy VMAX, and then we're just one hit away from on the Trevnor. And then we just win the game on actually we just win the game on the following turn. So yeah, it was going to be a dub on the following turn. I don't think there was anything my opponent could do about it. Oh no, wait, we had to hit whatever, include a boss. All right, here we go. Won the coin flip. We will be going first and looking for that turn 1 Jolteon with energy and hopefully a Snorlax. We did not find the Snorlax yet. We do have the Jolteon. We've got a Bird Keeper and a couple Cinccino's, but no Minccino. So top deck of a level ball is actually great. That can get us that Minccino. Throw that down. I'll bench the other Jolteon V, and then I'll pass over to my opponent. So we can attack next turn. I think it is a little bit unlikely. We have to find the Elemental Badge and one of our Lightning Energy, and we only have the Birdkeeper +1 make do. So I think it's unlikely that we're able to pull it off, but it's definitely possible. And then, of course, the big card, just like in the last game for this matchup, is going to be that Path to the Peak. Can we find Path to the Peak? How early can we find it? And then do they easily and comfortably find an answer to it turn after turn? And then yeah, how many turns in a row can we find Paths to the Peak as well? It's gonna be the big thing in this matchup. Path to the Peak. And there's Gengar Mimikyu, so actually we might even get housed here turn 1, which would slow us down quite a bit. It would definitely slow us down quite a bit. We'll see if they go for the house though. They got the energy on it. They don't have to, even if they get a switch card, they don't have to go for a house right now though. But there's the air balloon, and I think the house is on the way for sure. They have bench locked themselves, so if we are able to get a Path to the Peak and play now, they have no room for Marshadow. Of course, they could play other stuff to bump the stadium, I guess, as well, but no room for Marshadow. Yeah, pass. I didn't need to retreat there. I just decided I may as well do everything I can on my turn. So retreat, pass. We only have 2 trainer cards, so we're not getting knocked out by the Poltergeist this turn. So we're not getting knocked out, which is great. Still going to be annoying to deal with. But I don't know. I think we're in a pretty good spot here. Hey, this is a lot easier to KO, or can be a lot easier to KO than anything else on the board. So we can start hitting this and probably start hitting the Alchemy V if we're able to attack next turn. Once again, like I said, we might not be able to attack next turn. We do need the Elemental Badge and a Lightning Energy because we did whiff that attachment on the first turn. So who knows if we'll even get to attack this turn. I guess we'll find out. And they're setting up pretty well. Triple Calyrex. VMAX already in play. 3 of them did not get all the energy to accelerate all the energy they could on the turn, so that's at least something that's going for us, I guess. We at least have that going for us. Got the switch, got some evolution incense, so I'm gonna evolve this one. I don't know if I want to evolve this one, and I'm gonna burn one of these. Maybe I'll burn both of these actually. Throw it on Starlax, throw it on this. Actually, I can make do the other one. I forgot I couldn't make do this turn still. Got a Lightning Energy, got a Level Ball. So this turn actually ended up being pretty good overall. No Path to the Peak. That's another card I was really looking for here, was a Path to the Peak. I'm going to go ahead and ping the Alchemy, I think. Attach, Treat, and Gourmandize. Hopefully don't draw too many trainer cards, or maybe my opponent won't even think about bossing. Only 4, so actually not that bad. Yeah, they might not even think about bossing here anyways, and if they do, yeah, our hand would be just fine. They would not be able to one-hit KO my Jolteon, thankfully. I'll only be able to do 200 damage, which is actually still quite a bit. And in this situation, I definitely don't want them to hit it. And it looks like they are going for the hit. I guess I could just go Cheryl, retreat, and attach again, which I think is probably what I'm going to end up doing. So we can get the evolution for this one. That'd actually be great. Go ahead and make do one of these captures. Don't need this many of them. There's a path to the peak. So now we can go with that play I was talking about. I can even net this Goon. Retreat. Oh, I have another make do to use, don't I? I completely forgot about this make do. Make do another of these captures. Okay, Cheryl. Heal this. Unfortunately, I don't have another evolution here to heal. And then we're gonna go ahead and capture out, I think, another Jolteon. Because I don't want to evolve this one because it is damaged. And then Path to the Peak. I could recover the Cheryl. And actually, you know what? I think I will. Cheryl and the Bird Keeper. And then could Gourmandize for 2. I don't see why not. Even if I draw 2 trainer cards again, my opponent wouldn't be able to one-hit KO this, so we'd still be just fine. Yeah, they wouldn't be able to one-hit KO it. So I think we're doing all right here. We should be able to attack on this next turn and then start building up some damage in play. The question is just like, what do I want to hit? Currently, I have this Alchemy set up with a ping, but I might want to ping this Calyrex VMAX instead and then start hitting this plus that Calyrex. This is the only thing else that they have set up here. So I might want to ping the Gengar Mimikyu and the Calyrex VMAX. We'll see what my opponent fully does here, though. We'll see what they do, and then, you know, I'll decide where my damage is going to go. But this could definitely feels like it's going to develop into one of those games where I wish I had a boss. I'm not going to lie. So maybe, like I said, an inclusion of a boss might be the way to go. Yeah, here goes the Poltergeist. Goodbye, Snorlax. We don't really care if that gets knocked out. And because my opponent's been playing so slowly these last couple turns, I don't really want to Marnie them either. So we're probably not... We're just not going to Marnie them. We're going to do some make do's here and try and thin out... Actually, if I draw into a basic lightning, I'd rather play that because that means there's less trainer cards in my hand. So I'm going to start with the make do's on these Marnies. And then if I can draw into that, my second basic lightning, if it's in the deck, I'd rather put that in play. Looks like I did not draw it. So we'll go with the speed lightning. Quick ball away another Marnie. Grab another Mincino. Elemental badge here. Put down the Mincino, and then yeah, Max Thunder Rumble, or what's it called? Max Thunder Rumble. Hit the Gengar Mimikyu, hit up the Alchemy. The Alchemy is like the biggest threat, I feel like, overall, because while this Path to the Peak is in play, the only way they can get a one-hit KO is through the Alchemy VMAX. So if I just never let that happen, I think we're gonna be in a really good spot. We'll see though. We'll see. They can still build up a lot of energy and have this thing be getting one-hit KO, so maybe I want to start focusing this next turn. I don't really want to open up a bench space for them, so maybe I should have just pinged the Alchemy VMAX last turn and just started hitting, or the Calyrex VMAX last turn and started just hitting the Calyrex and the Gengar Mimikyu instead, because I really don't actually want to open up a bench space for them. The fact that I didn't make this into a VMAX means if I can't just kind of endlessly ping this, so I maybe should have gone with, well, I can hit it in the active for 100, and do 100 to the bench. Here comes a Marnie, but we got the Cincino set up. So yeah, we can actually go hit this for 100 and then hit the Gengar Mimikyu as well. They got plenty of make do's to use. Got the path still. Yeah, I don't really want to open up a bench space for my opponent here, though. Okay, make do Snorlax. And they are down 2 boss as well, so they probably have 1 boss left. Make do the quick ball. Don't want to play the level ball yet because I want to try and draw into these kind of cards. I do still want a Cheryl here. If we can find it. We're gonna make do one of these elemental badges. I think we should only need 1 more, and then do we draw into? We do not. Okay, Bird Keep to the benched one, and then hopefully draw into a lightning energy here. We do not. A lot of do nots going on right now, which is not great. We want to be doing do's, to be honest. We want to be doing stuff. Not these do nots. We do have the Cheryl in the hand, though, so I could just go evolve past, and if they hit, then we can Cheryl away a bunch of damage next turn. Throw this here. Play this level ball. Once again, thinning out these trainer cards. So Gengar Mimikyu doesn't hit us too hard right now. Hit us for 250 damage. And yeah, pass. Hopefully they don't have their third boss. They maybe play 4, so maybe it's one of their last 2 that they could have access to. Hopefully they don't have boss. Hopefully they don't have boss is what we're hoping for here, and we can Cheryl away almost all this damage. We won't actually heal. Well, actually, no, we could heal this one too if we get the VMAX for this one. And there's the Alchemy VMAX evolution. So now we're definitely going to be targeting the Alchemy with our hits. Max, guys. Okay, this is what I expected to happen. Thankfully, this is actually what happened. Got the Cheryl and start going back into the dues. Looking for some lightning energy. And ideally, like I mentioned, the other evolution so we can heal that damage as well. Is it in there? Actually, I don't even know if it's in there. It's not in there. Okay, so I can't do that. I was like, I can do this, right? I can't do it. All right. Still, Cheryl, pretty strong here. Heal all this damage. I did get rid of that elemental badge, though, which now I might be regretting, to be honest. Max Thunder Rumble hit up this Alchemy. And we can knock it out next turn, but then we have to come up with a knockout for... the following turn is going to be the problem, I think. How are we going to take that last KO? It really depends on what our opponent leaves in the active here. If they leave this Calyrex to be hit again, we can take advantage of that for sure, no problem. Okay, so they're going like this. They're doing a max guys to our active. So now what we can do is we can hit this, knock out this. We do need an energy this turn, which we did just top deck. Then we'll need one more energy next turn as well. We can thin out the deck a little bit more by using a make do this turn. So I think I'll go ahead and do that, and we'll have one card left in deck on the next turn. That card won't be in our deck anymore. Didn't draw into an energy. How many energy do we have left? That should be a speed lightning, I think. So if we go hit this for 100, knock out the Alchemy VMAX. Next turn we can go hit this for 100 if it's on the bench or in the active, and then double Goonping for the win. I could even go as far as Goonpinging this twice right now, lessening my chances of whiffing next turn. So we could go like this, and then go Goonping, yes, here, and then net it, and then Goonping again here, and then net it one more time, and then put down the Mencino to have that around to become a Mencino next turn to draw more cards if we should need to in the Max Thunder Rumble. Knock out the Alchemy VMAX, and now this thing only has 100 HP left, so that should be it. As long as we can get an energy here, and like I said, I think my energy is the last card in my deck. If it's not, we're going to be in trouble, actually. But I'm pretty sure it is. 1 speed lightning, 2 lightning. This is a basic. So there's 2 speed lightning left. I think there was the third one was in. Oh, no, they play Mew. Oh, my goodness. Of all things to not expect, this is one of them. They play Mew. Oh, goodness. Now I have no idea how to win this game. I don't know if we can win anymore. I think we just lose. So you can see why, you know, come rotation, this deck gets a little bit more powerful. Don't have to worry about Mew. Didn't expect my opponent to be playing it at all. I don't think I could have not given him that bench space. And once again, I don't play boss. If I played boss, then I could like avoid giving him the bench space for one more turn. But because I don't play boss, I can't not do that. So maybe boss is an inclusion we have to look at. But also, Mew is not a card come rotation. So this deck is built for rotation. And I think this is my lightning energy. It is my lightning energy. But the Mew is shutting us down, so no dub this time. But we got close. I don't think... I mean, I could Marnie to live for another turn, but I don't think we're winning the game anyway. So we're going to go ahead and concede here, because I think my opponent has this one pretty much wrapped up with that Mew bench. That stinks. But yeah, that's going to do it for these games with the Jolteon deck. I hope you guys enjoyed them. If you did, be sure to give the video a like if enjoying the content. If this is your first time here, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell. Looking to getting back into the daily uploads. I'm working on it, getting back into the flow of things. So far, so good. Probably going to be playing some games with Leafeon tomorrow, so stay tuned or stick around or come back for that, and I'll see you then.